All right, everyone, welcome back. 欢迎大家回来。今天是第78天 is day 78. Let's get right into it. Business as usual. Do we have any updates? No updates. Okay. All right. Oops. Yesterday was okay. It was okay. Looks okay. Work. Right. We don't worry about this, but this is Popeye. And then we do the reds. What happened here? Yo. I think it was the definition, right? Which I totally forgot. Sort of. Again. Ooh, new. This is new. This one was the most concerning. Toil. Toil was fine. New was not. Therein. I think I'm gonna do. It's either gonna be within or in the center. I think it still captures enough of what I want from this, but in case I don't remember therein, I had no idea what happened to website. No idea. Just something happened, and this is talent. I think we might default to ability. And we added genius as a fallback. I lost it here. 主要 somehow. Wait. Is it main and yeah. I lost 主. Pretty common one. Shay. And so because I interpreted Shay into Sui versus Shay, kind of screwed it up a little. What was this? Although, right? Although. And this one, to see clearly, that's just gonna be tough. I think we are ending up blocking out this entirely. We'll see. We'll see if they come back around again. Probably not gonna be today, but maybe another 2 or 3 days. There's a chance it'll come back. Address it then.
帮助
Alright. Yeah, this is what I was thinking of for 努力 by accident. I was getting this one. Bang with it. Alright, to help or assist. Yeah, to help or to assist. 我忘了跟谢他们的帮助. I forgot to thank them for their help. Yeah, okay. 你吃过需要帮助. Wait, that's you?
你如果需要帮助
Oh, whoops. That's Ru. 你如果 Whoops. I pulled the trigger on that a little too soon. I was pausing.
帮助
Let's make sure I remember the left one. Why is that bung? Barsenson in front of the chapel. Putting some white bricks into a towel. Yeah, I'm still not sure on this one. Like, white bricks into a white tower and it's just whacking people, but what is the caliber for? Art explains his help is not free and takes a caliber. Oh, it takes a caliber from the purse of the helpless. Oh, okay. So he was getting paid. The calibers, you don't really need the caliber to know. And then, ooh, this is George Costanza with a muscular arm, lifting a bunch of, putting a bunch of bookshelves in the bathroom to make him look sophisticated, right? Assist, yeah. Okay. That one's kind of weak. All right.
三角
三角, which makes sense. 3 horns, 3 corners. Yeah, angles. Triangle, 三角. Ooh, Jiao was hard yesterday. What was Jiao's thing? Jimmy Neutron in the basement of the... in the cellar of the barn. Center of the barn. A dagger, moon, and a cross? Or was it? Oh, wait. Oh, a horn. That's right. That's how I got it. A Jimmy Neutron, I was thinking of it as separate components, but you think of it as a whole. It's one of the weaker ones where it's the whole component. So you're just looking for hair that matches his horn, like matches his horns, that kind of reminds him of, that matches his horn-shaped hair. The horn-shaped hair is what gave away the Jimmy Neutron in the color of the barn. That's fine. 三角 something I love triangle. What the heck?
三角恋爱
Lian. 2 threads. Lian, 2 threads, words, and a heart. Yeah, I. 三角. Ooh, delta. Oh, like a river delta. Yeah. 三角. 三河. I. Oh.
三角洲
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I kind of knew that because of like Joe. Yeah.
三角
三角
故事
故事 Yeah, this is story, alright. 故事 deliberate matter. A story deliberately describes a matter and all the circumstances around it. Okay. 故事 What was this made of? Deliberate? And how do I get matter? With brush, mouth, and a cross, or maybe a hook. Oh, it could be a hook, cross, and mouth. Oh, fork. So there's a cross in the mouth. Shrek is in the bathroom of the house. I don't know how. What's the mnemonic for sure? He accidentally got a large cross stuck in his mouth and he's trying to get it out and he uses a pen, okay, to pry it out of the mouth. It seems this matter will take a while to resolve. Okay. And Gu was Goofy in the headstone. Foreman comes around, knocked him because he was deliberately removing it from the graveyard or something. Oh, Gushi versus Gushi. Interesting. 我喜欢听故事。这是一个有趣的故事。
这是一个有趣的故事。
我不相与你的，我不相信相信你的故事。
我不相信你的故事。故事。教育。
教育。Education plus teaching is education. Okay. To educate. Yep. Okay. 教育. Let's go to the right one. This is the Yugi in the house. Education moon. Doobie slapping his elbow, so he wears elbow pads. And then Jiao is Jimmy Neutron. Barn. The basement of the barn. With an elder. An elder foreman. And a child. Oh, he's teaching the elder foreman and child how to keep the place clean or something like that. Keep the manure in check. 你的大学教育，你的大学教育，
你的大学教育。
college education. Oh, 教育 bureau. 教育 bureau. We don't have bureau yet. Oh, we do have bureau in. Is it close to Kyoku?
教育局。
G? Not really. Oh, I kind of knew G. Might be related G to residents or people in a community, something like that. 你受过大学教育？
他受过大学教育。
他受过。Listen, looking at the pronoun.
教育。
教育。
语言。
语言. Okay, that's fine. Language is language. Language plus words is language. I still added language to this though. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. 他会说四种语言。我最喜欢的语言是中文。Okay.
语言。
Let's cover a little bit of the left and right. The right one can be a little problematic. The left one, yeah. So Yugi in the basement of the house with five mouths and words. The heck is Yi? And then Yen is Yoshi in the... It's up to words. Oh, there's words floating around and Yoshi is trying his best to prevent it from hurting the vintage... messing up the vintage items. What the heck is this one? Yuki is in the basement of the house trying for various card monsters there. He summons the five-mouth translation monster. I don't remember this at all. What appears, he goes around eating the words of the monsters and then spits out the English so that... What the heck? I don't remember this at all. What is this? Okay. Alright, five-word monsters spitting out. Alright. That's what happens when you don't require them anymore.
帮助语言教育故事三角
Okay. Tom and... Yeah, they. They. Unlike Tom and... This pronoun is used to refer to inanimate things. Yep. 他们贵不贵？他们贵不贵？他们叫什么？他们叫什么？ Yeah. Context.
他们或是
so or is or to be, just still or is another way of saying or it may be. Okay, I got you. 或是学电子我不知道这是什么字。Okay. Something 兼或是打手机。Okay.
写电子邮件或是打手机。
It is 邮件。The only thing that could pair with 件 is 邮件 for email, but I wasn't going to pull it. Too presumptuous, for sure. What was the 或? Oh, it's Hulk in the bathroom of the office building getting an ultimatum of picking up the Hellbird off the ground with his mouth or get fired. Okay. Interesting. Contact by email using 学电子邮件或是打手机 as opposed to 打电话手机 for cell phone. Which could still mean cell phone if you said 打电话, largely because phones are defaulted to cell phones. 要不要喝点 drink? That's beverage. 或是热汤。
要不要喝点饮料或是热汤？
饮料。Oh yeah, that's right. 饮料。Oh wait, beverage is 饮料。Oh yeah. 饮料。Yes. 饮料。Of course. Okay. All right.
或是
或是
体育
体育 yeah. Body education, it's sports. 体育课体育比赛 Okay. Those are very common ones, so nice.
体育
Or like 体育节目 right? 体育节目 a sports program.
体育馆
体育馆 Okay, the other gymnasium or gym. 体育馆 Which one was this? This is building, right? Yeah. All right. 体育馆有很多座位 Okay. 座位 seats. 我在体育馆打篮球 basketball. 这座体育馆很大。这桌using 桌 as the place as opposed to 这家体育馆，这桌体育馆 interesting.
体育馆牛角
牛角 Okay, an ox horn, that makes sense. Or a cow horn. Okay, gotcha. 你的车里为什么有一只鸟角Oh, that type of ox horn. Oh, I think it's I see that type of ox horn. Or maybe yeah. 我在rice field 里rice field stuff 看到一只鸟角 okay, so now this is in a rice field, so okay, so literal or a horn shaped like an I'm sure
我在田野看到一只牛角。
田野 should have known the yeah. Okay. 牛角 Alright.
他们体育或是体育馆牛角
Alright.
其他
Okay, yeah. Others. The others. Now we have the other. The other inanimate other. It is not yours. It likely belongs to someone other. It could be theirs or belong to it. Is what I'm saying, or someone other than those. Yeah. Okay. 有些语言有些语言比其他语言难学难学 Some languages are harder to learn than others. Debatable. I can see it. Properties have to take in the whole picture, right? when normalized to the bigger picture, comes with as far more negligible than I would like people to think. It's more the underlying thing is something is familiar and something is not familiar. 这有 or no 没有没有其他5个人没有其他5个人 oh interesting. Okay.
其他科系
academic. Yeah, academic discipline plus department. Yeah, academic department. Or still get reduced to department. The heck is... what the heck are those? 大学科系 choose
选择大学科系，
选择大学科系
科系一直都
one straight all. Okay. If you always do something, it is one thing you go straight for all the time. All right. I got you. One thing you go straight for all the time. 一直都我一直都 something 公车上班 die. This is probably die.
我一直都搭公车上班。
Oh, heckin' da. Oh my gosh, da. Okay. I'm getting the extra characters that come up a lot of times. Bring, die, but in a different form. And then da instead of 坐, right? Instead of 坐公车, right? 搭公车上班我一直都在早上喝绿茶。
我一直都在早上喝绿茶。
一直都
reviewing something in my head there.
装
What the heck is 装 attire? 装 Oh, there's a dress. Reverse slice. And oh no, they separate everything. Oh, waitress. Oh my. Now we have a waitress and a waiter? So they separated those. Interesting. And a soldier. Alright. So we have a waitress, which is also a waiter. It's slightly modified, I see it, and then waitress and waiter is also this. I can kind of see why they had it 2 entries, but these are 2 entries for the... This component looks like, oh, a waitress bringing you the same food on tray. She is different from the waiter. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, it's fine. Ooh, that was a little exaggerated. In that she faces left, it has a feminine curve in her legs. Okay, all right. You got me. I like how they consolidated though. Waiter and waiter. Oh, there, Curdle. Doing pretty well. How are you? How are you today? How was your day? Attire. Okay. Waitress.
装
Strong. Okay. George Costanza in front of the chapel, huh? Alright, George Costanza. In front of the chapel, where he sees the waitress, right? He comments on her attire, saying that her dress looks okay. Her boyfriend, the soldier, comes up and hits George right in the face for annoying the waitress. George falls down and rips open his own attire or clothing. Fine. Wow, that was a little aggressive. Oh. Buzhuang. Okay. I can get behind that. Zhuang sounds fancy. Qizhuang. Hence the suit. Wuzhuang, like formal clothing? No. Wait, Zhuang Shi. This one's gonna be a little tough for tomorrow.
装
Okay.
装 一直都 其他 科系
Let's see. I had a typo. How do you deal with people that try to rain on your parade? I just let them, and even my coworkers like, what's his problem? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't talk about him, and he isn't important to you. Oh, I see. When they rain on your parade, I'll just join the parade and see what I can gather about the person so that they stop raining on my parade in the future. Or you can let them rain on your parade, and then they'll probably rain on your parade and continue to rain on your parade in the future. That's usually the more common things that come up. Not that you could ignore him and then decide, and maybe they were looking for affirmation, and if they were looking for affirmation and you didn't give them affirmation, then they would go away. But that typically works for kids. That I would say it actually doesn't work that well with adults. Although, yeah, we're weighing statistical probabilities. So the likelihood, oftentimes, in a work environment, the adult will tend to have more fossilized behavior. The kids would be less, and adults, you would think this is tendencies, right? We're talking about tendencies. Adults would probably have inner sources of affirmation already in a workplace versus a kid. So when kid is looking for affirmation, and if you ignore them, they'll often find other sources of affirmation. Now, this is generalization. We're talking about what the likely case would happen. As an adult, when you ignore an adult and allow them to be, and you become complicit to it, typically it doesn't stop them from continuing to do it. Largely because you would think at a particular age, these habits become fossilized. So it will require open communication for that to whether stop, appreciate, and also since you're apathetic, right? Because you don't talk about him and he isn't important to you, then that person also remains apathetic to your feedback at the same time. So yeah, unless it's a kid looking for affirmation, then usually ignoring them can be a solution for them to stop hitting on your vibe. But the older you get, I feel like the more likely the habit is already fossilized to some extent, and open communication and generosity on behalf of the proactive person is more likely to change the situation than if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. So here's an dissonance that I have in your comment. You say, how do you deal with someone that tries to rain on your parade? Did they succeed in raining on your parade? Because if you don't talk about him and he isn't important to you, then he can't possibly rain on your parade. If you know what I mean. So it's one or the other. There's a little bit of cognitive dissonance here. If this person has the ability to rain on your parade, then you do care about them. They are important to you because they're bothering you. Otherwise, if you're not concerned with them, then there's no concern for them to be able to kill your vibe, so to speak, right? So you can let them proceed as much as you want because they're not important to you. It's one or the other. A lot of times, some people, you know, it's one of those things like, oh yeah, you're not bothering me, but in fact, they're bothering you, and that's kind of one of those things you have to ask yourself. You just let them talk and you don't pay much notice, or I just take notice but gives it no attention. Yeah, I think it's just annoying because you care about work, but at the same time, you like to do the late game stuff like who do I want in your future life? That's fair. Let's not forget that you want to also circumvent who you don't want in your future life, right? In a working environment, you have to set boundaries. And boundaries, when you ignore someone, it tends to be complicit. And that complicitness can lead to longer gestation periods for like attachment. So, for example, someone who is ignored, but most people are complacent, like when you're being agreeable. I'm one to be very agreeable. I accept the consequences that this person will find that their behavior is acceptable because I said nothing. Right? Usually when you say nothing, it's complicity most of the time in the more adult-oriented environment. So the longer you stay complicit, the more likely that that thing isn't going to go away. So if you're willing in the late game to understand that you accept the consequence that this person may continue to do that, if not possibly continue to escalate their intrusion, is largely because you haven't voiced anything about it, at least in an adult perspective. This is assuming this person has no like very obvious deficiency in communicating in the workplace. Sometimes it is very difficult to circumvent the human nature that when people don't say anything, it's not like both people are mutually reading the same nonverbal cues. Kids, on the other hand, like younger people, maybe this person is looking for affirmation. You could change their, on the alternative, you could change that person's world's perspective by offering a hand. But generally speaking, I would say apathy goes a long way when you can confirm that other person is looking for affirmation. If not, then it's not that they're gonna stop. They have a source of self-motivation. And I think the older someone gets, the more likely that they probably have a source of self-motivation and or habits that are already formed. So that would necessarily mean that there's nothing stopping them if no one tries to stop them or change them or make them more different. And then you asked me how I would deal with someone who tries to kill the vibe, right? So to speak. Like pretty much 7 out of 10 people who drop in the middle of one of these conversations, right? A lot of times I include them in the conversation. That's what I would do, but that's a personal thing. I don't think many people are comfortable in that. And when you're being agreeable, that's another avenue to remain agreeable. You include them in the discussion. Now, if that person is determined to intentionally try to kill the vibe, like they're trying to disrupt the thing, and I'll demonstrate that the disruption is of no consequence. We can include them in it. I often feel like someone who is trying to draw more attention, like if they vigorously double down on drawing more attention, then I can more lean on the deduction that this person's looking for affirmation. So if that is the case, I would abandon my current dialogue and give the affirmation that this person desires, because I have a better chance at talking to this person about the things they want to talk about than having this person come back, doubling down even harder and becoming a future problem. At some point, in my opinion, when you double down on someone who's looking for affirmation, when they get that affirmation, whether it's at your expense or not, like, oh, they hurt my feelings, now they can go on and be happy about it, they rarely come back, knowing that they've already got their satisfaction, right? So a lot of times someone will come by and say, yeah, see, this stuff is garbage. I told you so. It's like, okay, well, why do you think it's garbage? Can you explain it to me? I would be all ears to explain why it's why it's garbage to you. And once they're done with that, they are more likely to move on than come back. But I haven't been in the office environment for quite some time. And there is something to be said about the last couple years of my final environment in a workplace is around individuals who are far more inclined in communication than like a workplace that has many different types of people. So it has its pros and cons. It means everyone is very like intellectually inquisitive and exhausting to each other. So not as diverse of a personality group in my original work environment. I personally, in my opinion, enjoy the variety of people. So I like being in a classroom. No, like this is no reflection on my colleagues or anything. I prefer to be in a classroom filled with lots of different personalities, like 30 different students with like myriads of things, so that I can practice my conversational skills, than be often spend the majority of my time around colleagues that think like me very similarly, talk and speak like me. And honestly, I think my colleagues would agree that most of the time we keep our distance from each other unless we have something to discuss, because it's not all that interesting in the work environments when you have specialized people. You either are doing business as an exchange of information, or you're working on something. And then outside, when you socialize, some of the coworkers are best friends together, but that is not because of the work, but it was because of all the deeper human connections. The work can bring people together, but it is not the work or like the context, the superficial context, in my opinion, that keep people together. It's what they build upon that. So hopefully something like that is interesting. Let's see what you okay. And he wouldn't be part of it, so I see what you mean though. I am one to be very agreeable, but you know what you mean. But you know what I mean sometimes. You let it grow and it won't go away. Thank you. I like hearing my different perspective. Oh, so I have a different facts on the last one. Yeah. Um that's probably how I would go about it. Again, though, it's been a very long time since I been in an environment like that. I'm the diffuser a lot of times, but not in a permanent environment. So the difference between my approaches and my preferences are for temporary solutions. As in, like, I'm here 3 days of the year, so I I only have this one day to diffuse the situation and hope that by the time next year it doesn't have like a festering baggage that comes up again. So most of the strategies that I'm talking about are for as immediate effect as possible. You can probably have the luxury to resolve this little thing over the course of years, because you might remain coworkers for years. So you could take it slowly. But generally speaking, um, most of the environments that I have in social experiences are very tenuous. They're very short. They're fleeting. So I go for the direct approach a lot of times. Either include them or not include them, give them the satisfaction, because for me, upfront generosity costs far less than a downstream obstacle, or obstacle that grows in the background. Largely because maybe I don't expect to see this person again, and this is the only opportunity. I don't usually sit around and wait for things to work itself out. I tend to be far more proactive when it comes to talking and resolving things. Now, the person could just be angry and walk off, and well, that is certainly still a desired effect, right? Yeah, you can't win them all. All right, we got fish, which is fish and still fish. I think we're fine with this though. Yeah. Some rice fields have fish within them. Okay. Because the water is so shallow, one typically fishes for them with no more than a dagger. I see. Once you impale the fish on the dagger, you can hold the dagger over a burner to cook your fresh fish. All right. That's enough about fish.
鱼
Yeah. Alright. Yugi is fishing. Yugi is inside the living room of the house craving some fish. So let me guess. He summons a fish. He takes out the tasty fish card and slams it on the table. A beautiful salmon fish appears out of the air, still alive, and its tail whacks Yugi in the face before falling onto the living room carpet. Okay. Yeah. So those are all there. What the? Fish is in crocodile? What the heck is that? Yeah. Has two fish and a block. Jeez. You rather knock it out now early, but who knows? Sometimes it's what you said. You want to diffuse, but you know that's a lot of time and effort you don't want to spend on the person, but it will help long run. So thank you. Yeah. So, if I had to wager statistics, like, you know, this is not to guarantee that it would happen. If you think it's a lot of time and effort now, it is far more likely that it will be a lot of time. It would be more time and more effort later. When it comes to adults, kids, again, not. Kids are far more predictable. Their interest and pattern changes more rapidly. The older you get, the more likely that it's far more habit forming. So you might, it seems like a lot of effort and time even at the beginning, because you're talking up many years of like habit. Maybe this person does that all the time. So if this person is a 25-year-old, then that's some amount of time, and then if they're 40, then that's a larger amount of time, and that's stuck in their way. So lots of effort and time, but it might be negligible in the like the short term, like maybe you engage this next year or the year before, but generally speaking, it will be more effort. It will likely be more effort and time later down the road. Adults set boundaries. Kids, that's fine. You go on and do their thing, you know, let them explore, let them find and detect and observe nonverbal communication and sources of affirmation. But adults, nah. Adults set boundaries. Boundaries, open communication. In my opinion, unless you want to gamble. Gambling is not my jam. I don't take chances. I make opportunities. Right. That's probably how I would be in the work environment. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm able to. The biggest challenge is recruiting that person into the group if they want to be around. Because there's got to be some sort of commonality between you guys that causes this to happen. Something that you can't see. So seizing the opportunity to figure out what those are is an opportunity well spent. So you might even get the person to, you might even get a return on the event's investment. You're seeing it as a counterpoint right now. So you don't see the person as an opportunity, you see them as an obstacle. So you're trying to neutralize the obstacle and not certainly consider it a chance to gain something from the interaction as well. So not only if you're going to spend a lot of time and effort, sometimes they pay back too. Not that you do it to pay back, but in this case, this is more of an obstacle than a pure opportunity. You see an opportunity to make amends or figure it out. Just sometimes his character just doesn't sit right with you, so you don't want to get to a further relationship. Well, there are many types, or further friendship. There are many types of friendships. There are friendships that are amicable in a work environment, and then there are friendships that you are doing, right? So you're specifically talking about one thing. That might also be a reflection of how limited or how restrictive your desires are, which honestly, if I had to say something, if someone that appears a little bit disagreeable to you hang around with you, sometimes it is also a reflection of yourself, because you might appear disagreeable and restrictive. Hence your company tends to be restrictive and selective. So voicing that, I think restrictive people can voice their boundaries to be amicable or mutually amicable in a work environment. It's going to be very hard to empathize with me if you're asking me questions, because I don't operate that way. I operate on the more is merrier situation. So being able to voice that clearly the first time will make the second time easier, right? Or foreseeably easier if you're using it as a learning experience. Then the fourth time, then the fifth time, 6, 7, practice makes perfect. If you consider yourself as someone who has very selective preferences, practicing skills that allow you to diffuse and declare what your selective preferences are goes a long way for the practice, and it will become less and less effortful. It will likely become less and less effortful in the future. Like, yes, I've been in this situation before. Here are my things. I just wanted to let you know what I consider friends like this, what I consider coworkers, and I do feel like we're not compatible. So it's great that I hope that we can work well together, but you and I do not share similar interests, or enough interests in which I want, more than just coworkers kind of thing. But without practice, the longer you go, right? And we're talking about something one can control, like the self. The longer and longer you go without practicing that, the harder and harder it will seem as well. So it kind of works in both directions. That person has all their stimuli and their habits. Yourself, something that you can control, is also similar. Something that might seem like it's very hard at first will become very easy. As a leader or person, you should be more open. You don't have to be. But this one, you've known him for years and realize the way he treats other people is not how you would want to treat others. Well, you would have to clarify that to him. And you would have to understand from his perspective. So I want to stay away from that, but I understand in a way what you're saying. I'm not sure if you do here, but maybe some of it. you're saying if you're a leader, right? If you're a leader, you don't necessarily have to be more open. You can be more tolerant, but tolerating are not proactive moves. Like you don't belittle people and micromanage them. This has very little to do with micromanagement. I think you're like I didn't even take into account your leadership position or not. You're practicing how to express disagreements with someone else. So giving someone feedback No. That's not what I'm saying. You're misinterpreting. If you're in a leadership position, then it is your responsibility, right? Micromanaging people and giving them feedback on their behavior are two very different things. Micromanagement would be controlling and gaslighting someone to doing the things you want them to do or behave the way you want them to behave. And condescending them or belittling them is telling them what is the right way to do things, not what is in conflict with you. Like expressing your opinion as a feedback to create a mutual relationship with the other person so that person is aware is different from micromanagement. What you said, a lot of things you think you know about the person, but you don't talk to the person. So that means you actually don't know anything about that person. You only observe how that person treats others, and you suggest that's not how you would treat other people. So you, in fact, are belittling him because you think you know better, but you haven't talked to him. So that's not micromanagement. It's to know, yo, what the deal? I think like you can express how you would like to treat other people as a suggestion to the other person, right? So then the other person may reflect upon it. If that doesn't affect their behavior, then at least you can gather why they behave a certain way. But I can understand why you think you don't like belittling people and micromanaging people, because the way you describe other people makes you sound like you're better than them. And that's probably how other people make you feel as well, because you're focused on the idea if someone is right and someone is wrong, as opposed to two people sharing their way of how they treat each other. I have no idea who this stranger is, and I don't really understand how you behave in an environment and what your position is in the environment. But saying that you've known this guy for years and you say that the way he treats other people is not how you would want to treat other people, well, does that person know? And do you know why that person acts a certain way? If not, then you yourself are claiming to be a better person than that other person. And that is a leadership position, I suppose, right? Like if you are an actual leader of the group, then it might actually be true that what the leader wants, the group has to follow. So it might be very appropriate. The idea is you don't know because you don't talk to them. So there's no way you can anticipate whether they think they treat other people inappropriately or not, and if the way you treat other people is appropriate. If you're the leader, I would say the other people would follow you by example. No, we all used to hang out, and I even went on a trip with him one-on-one and try to understand from his side. He went through some stuff, and I don't want to air out his business, but he just never confronted his emotions. Since I don't know the other person, and you try to understand from his side, right? You sound like you're using every possible excuse to burn the bridge. So burn the bridges. Like, from an outside perspective, you have given me every reason for you to burn that bridge. You set boundaries. You're not being agreeable. That's period. Like, the way you're saying things is you gave up on the person. So you burn that bridge. Now, if you keep saying that you want to invest more time into that person, that you didn't give up, but you're seeing him as someone different from you. So naturally, you wouldn't understand them because you don't see yourself as similar to him. You can't relate to someone if you choose not to relate to them, in my opinion. So like, you're saying you had a one-on-one and you tried to understand him, but then you keep saying, well, he treats people different than you would. Well, in order to connect with someone who's been through crap, who's like never confronting their emotions, is there any time that you've never confronted your emotions and similar things? Because you have to end up connecting with him before you can actually make a breakthrough in understanding. Kind of like how psychologists and counselors try to make a breakthrough to the person by trying to make them feel that the other person understands the other person, but it goes through expressing all these things, right? And it may never happen, obviously. You make the attempt, and if you give up, right, like if you're asking me and you're giving me every single excuse for you to give up, you burn the bridge. It will be less time, less effort in the future, and you cut your losses. Now, there are a lot of ramifications with that, right? It sounds harsh. It does sound harsh because you are harsh about his character, right? Yeah, and you get that the human side of both of us and talk about the work stuff, and you told him you understand, but yeah, I think it's harsh and true, like what you said, burn the bridge instead. Every time I suggest something, you counter with something else, so I don't see any indicator that further investing in the situation would be amicable. Not that I understand who the other person is, of course. Every time with the but comes up, it means there's an impasse, right? So when someone comes on and insults me and then tells me what they know is better or like is right when they're right, it's like, yeah, you're right. Explain to me more so I can understand why you're right. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong because I believe differently. I want to know as much as I know about you. And if there is something that I can empathize with, then I'll start there. And you gave me a description that suggests that you did that. However, your comments would suggest you didn't. As in, yeah, you probably listened to him while holding on to all your principles and criticisms of what you disagree with him, right? So it's not meant to be. I understand, like, I totally understand trying to be agreeable as much as possible. If you are suffering, I'm not saying, like, we're going back to the first question, right? If having him around doesn't greatly diminish your dynamics, your group's dynamics, then you can continue to let it be that way, certainly. But if it's making you less happy, I don't think it necessarily benefits him not knowing that you're progressively getting unhappier. At some point, someone's going to break. And for myself, I'd rather not be me that breaks than someone else, but at the same time, I prefer neither group to break. So there are alternative ways. You introduce them to another friend that is compatible with the person. That's what I would do if I was a leader, but I'm not a leader of a group. If I had a lot of resources, like for example, someone comes on and says, can you play Souls-like games, please? It's like, sorry, I don't really play Souls-like game. I'm not really connected with the community. However, I do know a couple people that are really excellent at Soul-like games, and they fit you to a T. Like, you know, after you ask them, can you explain to me why you like Souls-like game? Ask them, try to understand them, and maybe if there's something I can connect with, right? If I can connect with, then I will start there. If it's like, yeah, there's no way I can't do the things you want me to do even in this moment, and we haven't shared a long moment, I would say, you know what? The details you shared with me about you, like in our 5 minutes of discussion, I know someone that you might like far better than me, and don't worry about it. Like, I'm okay. Maybe one day we can talk about it from a different angle, but I know someone that's far more appropriate for you as being friends. So if you're the one that's more proactive and you're more extroverted and you're more agreeable, a charisma, being agreeable tends to allow you to have more circles, right? More circles of friends and acquaintances. So if you're actively being empathetic, you can bring those people together, and then you'll have a win-win situation, right? And that doesn't always work out. Sometimes people's like, oh, are you just pawning me off to another person? That happens when you don't get to know that person first. So I do a bunch of listening. If that person clearly starts off with something I don't agree with, I listen first, and then hopefully, if there's the worst comes to worst, we don't be friends, but I could possibly direct that person to another place that is happier, because then it doesn't blow back on you. It won't blow back on you later down the road. Like, oh yeah, this guy was a jerk. They just told me to get lost and they didn't care about me. That kind of thing. It can really brew some serious long-term crossfire. So lots of times I try to do my research, like from a streaming perspective. I try to do my research. What are the type of people I'm more likely to meet? And then in case I don't fulfill those qualities, I should be cultured enough or understand enough to direct them in a different way. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't use Anki for language learning. However, I do have a bunch of people here who use Anki, and they just like chilling, so perhaps they can work with you or be your buddy and whatnot. And maybe every once in a while we can connect through that kind of thing. You all hang out with different groups, so it doesn't bother you. It's just when he talked to you today and your coworker had a concern about it and just threw me off. I think, oh, okay. Well, that seems reasonable. I can see why you just let him be for so long. So it's not like a chronic thing. I can see what you mean by it's not as important. Like, that person is not as important. I think oftentimes, if you're the social person, you can bring people together. That solves far more problems, in my opinion, than even burning bridges. However, burning bridges is something that adults come to expect. So as long as you know that the person you're talking to is amicable, they under boundaries. Adults have boundaries. Kids, I wouldn't do that with kids. Burning bridges with kids that sounds harsh to me. Adults, I think, hopefully, I like to believe that anyone who's now like going into their 30s or something have the ability to understand the harsh nature of being mature enough to handle, like emotionally mature enough to handle that adults are incredibly fossilized people. They have their habits and their specializations, and you don't have to be friends with everyone. You can definitely still work together without having to be friends. Yeah, very challenging situation. Very challenging situation.
鱼斑
Un. What? Wait, how's this different from Chuan? Chuan had legs, right? On the top? Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to look closer at Chuan. Okay. Here we are. Bart Simpson is in front of the pawn shop, dealing in a small boat. Okay. But this is not Chuan, right? Boat on the grass that can shoot missiles. Go on. Whenever he sees a sort of person or customer he does not like, he shoots a missile at them. When it explodes, he laughs at them, a new sort of prank to him. You didn't realize you thought all that until you... I'm not sure if you did or not. Hurdle. I want to... I hope I didn't convince you of something that you didn't already realize yourself. Because oftentimes, I don't want to dictate what you were thinking. I'm trying to conclude or like try to deduce from the impression you're given to me. However, make sure that whether you accept or understand how I interpret your words, right? You should have enough self-esteem and confidence in your own judgments and your decisions, and then you can compare those with what the impressions you're giving me. That would be, in my opinion, the most that's a very healthy thing to have, right? I think it takes... I don't want to make this sound like it's an opportunistic way to gaslight someone. So what I mean by that is when someone who may have lower self-esteem encounter someone who has more self-esteem, which I think conservatively, I think for this particular topic, I'm a little bit more confident in this topic. Do not forget, in my opinion, to encourage yourself that you also have your opinions and things to compare to mine. Sometimes it can be overpowering because I've talked about these topics far more, and that confidence could easily sway someone who is less confident in a particular area. And I think depending on the intent of the person who is more influential in this situation, they can take advantage of that. So hopefully you do not place yourself and like sell yourself short and place yourself in situations where people can manipulate your agreeability or your kindness or your niceties, right? Maybe slightly like a person who takes advantage of your apathy. That can happen, and then can brew over, right? Eventually you're like, I've had enough, and then you like throw a desk across the wall or something. But yeah. I'm not saying you thought all of that. I'm suggesting you might consider all these things already. Yeah. Grain of salt. Grain of salt. Because I don't know the whole situation and all that stuff. No, but you said about negative thoughts and the stuff means I don't think I ever think I wanted him as a close friend and stuff, sadly. Yeah, I don't think you do. That's the impression I'm getting. So they don't have to be close friends. Maybe there's something about, do you need everyone around you to be close friends? That can be a thing too. It's a very important question. I think there are people who live exclusively to make a large line, like a really large line. Definitely not? Okay. Yeah. I have friends, you know, that I talk to every day. I have friends that I talk to every 6 months. And I have friends that I talk to every 3 years. So, however promiscuous you are, provided that you're not building up resentment, I think that's you already know how to handle that already. Let's see. Bart Simpson, don't sell yourself short though. I think having said all those things, you are definitely welcome to disagree, right? And think about things that you might find more important than I do. I like to try to make disclaimers and prefaces and stuff in advance for that, in case I get a little too assertive. Let's see. So boat, shooting, sort. I don't know. I need an example of these words. Oh no, that's not it. Iban. One sword? Ordinary? Yes. If it's one sword, then it's ordinary. Every means. $100? IBN? Every means. So like 100% of sorts? Every means? I guess. I can kind of see why they wrote sorts. Maybe like variation? Type? Kind? So like, if you're only one kind, you're ordinary? Like a singular type? Ordinary? Like everyone else? And then like 100 types or variations, meaning every form, every means? I don't know. We'll continue.
班静
That one's gonna be tough. Ding, not so much. This top part is different from... It was a dagger, right? They substituted the cleat for a dagger. Or a prison. Or quiet. Shizuka. Jimmy Neutron is in the bathroom of the English Manor. Okay. Which is strangely quiet. Jimmy wearing cleats from playing soccer earlier with the rich kids, because English Manor, rich kids, walks over to the beanstalk at the center of the room, of the bathroom, at the center of the bathroom, disturbed by how quiet it is. He uses a pen to draw a picture of a moon on the beanstalk. All one can hear is the scratching of the pen on the beanstalk and the rubbing of the cleats on the marble floor. That sounds kind of like a setup for some weird psychological horror. Okay. All right. I got you. There's a lot to work with here. Okay. Calm, cold, quiet. Interesting. 冷静. We're gonna add peaceful, like calm. Peace in general. Or unlively. Yeah, silent. Yeah, quiet. Oh no, quiet's fine. Still unmoving. Interesting. But there's stop in here too. 静止. What's the right side of this? More. I have no idea what more is. Left side. We have dollhouse, heart, a net, maybe a net, and a spike. It's involved in peace though, so. Ding my. Whoa, that's somewhere else. It just went somewhere else. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay.
静
Okay.
康
Kang, health. Next to healthy. 健康. 健康 is the prototypic thing. So Kang. Hermit is in front of the chapel, offering anyone who is interested, who is interested his health service in his health service. An interested priest came up to him. Door. Hermit opened a small shack and uses a pen, gotcha, to lift a very small and delicate snowflake. Oh, that's which then places on the priest's forehead. The priest instantly began to have a healthy glow. Okay. So 健康 and 康 fu. Not kung fu, but kung fu. Huh. Kang Xi. Oh, that's a neat character. Alright. Kang.
康
Okay. And it's gone. It's Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson. Pawn shop. Front.
班 康 静 雨
Alright. Time to lock in. Here we go. Time to flip some tables. Alright, let's go.
晚
Oh no. Is it late or evening? I'm gonna use evening. Did I add evening? I probably add evening, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. Wait. That's how you block it. Oh yeah, we just got this. What was the Japanese one? When life kicks you, you express yourself? Oh yeah, express instead of surface. Sometimes you gotta look at different point of views and it helps, and you feel like you've definitely grown a lot these past 6 months where you know you wasn't the same guy I was, but same personality. Yeah. Keep your core values, right? Core values. You refine your core values. And you explore at the edges, you know. On your fringe, you can explore a lot of things on the fringes. While building your self-esteem. Your core is your self-esteem. So, or it's often proportional to your self-esteem. So hopefully your core personality, right? Your core personality and all that stuff is taking a little bit of refinement from everything. But yeah, definitely keep them both, right? Both. I think why I say this is one hopes that you don't have to keep fringe exploring things as often as you get older because you've experienced most of the things, right? That's kind of the early phases. When one gets older, they're more allowed to fossilize whatever their personality is, like the overall refined personality, because they've developed a lot of self-esteem from repeated successes in their environment that they've manipulated to a point that now they're settled. With all that said, though, I'm kind of the opposite at the moment. I think I was more that when I was younger. Now I'm all about exploring new things and different personalities. Who knows? I still have my core values, but generally, I think a lot of the other things, I just keep spatting about different perspectives. And not particularly any of them are my own, unless asked. You particularly asked me for how I would resolve things, so I already shared that, and those are fairly clear. However, when I think about what other people are sharing, I try not to specifically think about the way I would do things, but more about all the different possibilities I could imagine doing that. And that's keeps me young. So if you want to feel old, confidence, becoming like old and mature, that's certainly a source of confidence. That's if you're like me, less and less confidence. I'm perfectly well suited to sacrifice some of that self-esteem to be less and less confident. I gotta give myself credit because your values and dedication is good because you followed it since June of 2020 and you're still streaming. June of 2020. Is that when the first time we met? You're just doing what you love, you're passionate about it? Okay. Yeah, for sure. But my passion is dependent on other people or other things. Largely because I have enough self-esteem. Yeah, the follow age thing doesn't work anymore, but I can click on your thing. Yeah, June 18, 2020. So that's where you got it. Yeah, it's been 4 years. I can if you're ever curious, I don't know if I ever told you this, but there's a number at the end of my title. That's the first stream. That's the day since the first stream. The number of days. Oh, today happens to be day 2345. I didn't plan that, but it's been 2,345 days since we started this whole journey. On Twitch, anyways. I'll let you do the math. I can't actually do the math quickly. Okay, so what is this though? Beanstalk? October 24th, 2018? Sounds about right. Around there. Beanstalk? An address. Yo.
表
Ah?
爬
Okay. 面色
面色
面色红润，
因
因果
因果关系，
因果关系 Oh. I'm like, what does that have to do with fruit?
生气，
不要生气，
努力，
我们的努力已经到顶了。
You have services, right, Bertle? You have access to services as someone who's part of the military, right? I hope you do. And have like a bunch of peeps around helping you on your journey. Like all this stuff, like you're talking, I hope you're like around lots of circles that are very, very proactive in all of this. I find sometimes I haven't ever been a military personnel, but I think sometimes it can be a very disjointed transition going between like what is a military environment and what is a citizen's environment. So I was just curious. I don't usually talk to my sister about this stuff, really. And I've only been a citizen. Oh yeah, you had a life counselor this year after everything, but you tried to talk to your friends at home, not military, so it helps. Okay, yeah. And the only reason I brought up the military thing is I'm not saying that there aren't others. I mentioned my coworkers and my colleagues. It's still very difficult to bridge the two a lot of times. So when you were talking about like more your friend circle, you could be also talking about your coworkers and whatnot. And work life, that stuff requires people to be around, to be like, then you can figure it out on your own, right? You can have opportunities to figure it out on your own. On the internet, I feel like everyone is treated the same, if you know what I mean. So I get the whole idea of treating other people the same. However, when you're going from circle to circle or different environments to different environments, treating how people treat each other may differ. And if it's like super exhausting and it makes you really antisocial or not wanting to do it, I don't think it gets any easier that way. Like I do not care for people who like sports when I was younger, for example, and here I am talking to Gecko about football, who just happens to be a stranger that I've met for the last month or two over language learning. So it took some time, but having opportunities to interact with different circles is a thing. I also make a disclaimer a lot of times when I don't have lots of interactions of specific type anymore. Knowing what you don't know is very self-esteem building as well. Like, there's something about, I'm not sure if you feel the same way, it might feel like an oxymoron or a paradox, but knowing what I don't know confidently also helps too. Because then it leaves the opportunity, like, I could get information about that. So whenever someone says like, oh yeah, you know, I don't have an interesting life, I'm an electrical engineer, it's like, well, that's something I don't know anything about. Would you care to share about electrical engineering and what the dynamics are in that work environment? Because I'm pretty confident I do not know anything about electrical engineering. So you can help me with that. Yeah, it does, and whatever uncomfortable with you, do it again or just learn it and get into it. Yeah. This might sound a little bit overrated, or like underrated, in this day and age. Using what you for sure know you don't know as an icebreaker for someone else to share their interests with you, and then making yourself wanting to learn and get into that kind of builds the self-esteem. Like it becomes something that isn't negative, right? Sometimes people's self-esteem drops to no end because they feel like everyone else around is perhaps more knowledgeable or more successful or whatnot, and you don't have the self-esteem to be confident in your talks. But and then that self-esteem gets pushed down even further by constantly telling yourself, oh well, I don't know this, so I shouldn't say anything, or I don't know this, or I shouldn't say anything. It comes down to those people who say like, well, this might be a stupid question, but may I ask the question? It's like, sure, no question. I don't believe in stupid questions. I believe if you care about this question you're asking, then it's not stupid. Now, I didn't say there aren't any stupid questions. Generally speaking though, someone who asks a question, if they give me the impression that they want to know that question for real, then can't be a stupid question to me, personally. Because I won't know until you ask the question. So oftentimes you can appear like you don't know a lot of things, but you can sound confident and assured that you don't, and you know how to solve that problem, or you know how to get information, right? Someone asks, someone tells me, oh yeah, this is how you say this in French, and like, I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that. You could try and lead me, but trust me, I'll probably butcher it, but we'll smile and you can help me out along the way. That's far more than constantly battling yourself and says, oh no, I should learn some French before I start talking and stuff. That's a self-esteem killer most of the time. The more often, in my opinion, if you're trying to build self-esteem, people who have self-esteem, they can choose to withdraw or withhold information for contributing because they don't need that anymore. But I think those who might be struggling with self-esteem or being confident in their resolution, knowing how to get more information in situations by knowing what you don't know is empowering. It also helps with imposter syndrome, which can happen if you even know a lot of things. Like, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but since I'm sure that I'm not confident right now, can you explain it to me again? So that we're on the same page. So you don't sound apprehensive. You are still participating in the conversation, and you don't have to worry about sounding like someone doesn't believe you or they question your credibility, because you admitted it to them and you're participating at the same time. Like, hey, I'm not cultured enough to come across this anime you're talking about. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And maybe I'll try to check it out this evening, if it's very interesting. So you admit, I admit I don't know this thing, but I am interested, and interest me, convince me it's interesting, right? I know what I want, I know what I don't know, and I know what I do know. Change that. Not in those direct words, but it's kind of like a non-verbal, indirect way of saying that. Like, you think this is better than what I'm doing, convince me. I don't know the thing you're talking about. You're probably more experienced than I am. Please, I'm open to it. Convince me. Right? That's something you know for sure. Like, you know when you're convinced, at least. Hopefully. 乌烟谱不变。
普遍
普遍定律
So this is either ordinary or everywhere. Or universal. Go with universal. Okay. 身影 And whatever I say here does not substitute for professional and or intimate advice. Hopefully. I don't know if I emphasize that. It does not substitute for anyone who's professional, who knows more about you, who's tracking you, not in a creepy way, but tracking you professionally. And it doesn't substitute for people who are closer to you. Listening, interacting with the people closer to you, be it if they're academic or intellectually inclined, they are more likely to be representative of things that take into more considerations of who you are. I mean, I can try to compensate as much as I can, but it is no substitute for someone who is closer to you, in both a professional standpoint and a personal standpoint. 身影
身影
一个高大的身影
I can't spell silhouette.
星火知己
他是我最知己的朋友
That would be the term. 知己 intimate knowledge. That sentence was, this person is my most personal friend.
天分
这孩子很有天分
Okay.
画国王
国王赏给士兵一匹马
长久
长久之计
Okay, which one is this? It's a 50-50. So I'm gonna say long term. Dang it, it's long lasting. It's one or the other. 50-50. Very.
运
Oh, the component? Oh, it's an alien. Yeah, about that.
机场
我会在机场接你
网上
他在网上吗
拉作文
我每周都写一篇作文
Composition writing, okay. I wanted to write composition, but I was too cowardly. 喝酒
喝酒
你会喝酒吗
三呼急没想到 没想到，
我没想到会收到礼物。
九，左边，
爸爸坐在我左边，
蛋，
Okay, button, however, okay, that's fine.
取笑，
别取笑我。
东南，
东南亚，
It's a crappy gift, right? Yarn.
影，唱歌，
他边唱歌边工作。
谢谢，
谢谢你带我去机场。
遍地，
遍地都是死人。
The heck is this supposed to be? Wait, is this still dog? Is it bulldog? Dang. This 7? Okay. um
改正，
改正下面句子中的错误。
秋，冬，
was it? Yeah.
且，
Ah! Oh, it's 3. Not 2.
试用，
我想试用一下。
间，雪，
yes.
多久？
你们结婚多久了？
不大，
今天不大冷。
Oh, not very? Okay, that's fine.
香，线，
Yeah. are you? Cleats? Oh, wait. I got this.
称号，
他配得上模范教师的称号。
你好，
你好，你好吗？
Uh-oh. 乔，horn 球队，
球队，
我们球队又败了。
球队，球队，
礼，名称，
请填写你的名称。
Oh boy. A mouth. Oh boy. Is this a Kermit the Frog situation again? No, it's not. A hair clip? A beret? Right. Oh. It's definitely bathroom. It's hello. Wait.
为，海，句子，
读这个句子。
读音，
这个汉字的读音。
得分，
他们刚刚得分了。
Oh no. This has something to do with score, right? Yeah, it's a score. Okay. Okay, fine.
可，口水，
见了那么多吃的，他只流口水。
Empress and Foreman. How many Foremans there are?
树，
What was that again? 排队。
排队，
请在这里排队。
It's line up. It doesn't matter. Line should be acceptable. To line up. I was being lazy. I should have just typed line up, but I don't use word phrases that end with a preposition too often. There's no reason that shouldn't be enough.
下雪，
Laurel.
叶，
Right? Stretch, Timmy Turner stretching. Spool. Finger. Is this the erect thing? Yeah.
挺
I don't remember why it's not. Some of these things I don't remember anymore. Fine though, that's part of the process.
向往
向往着北京。
英语
这个国家的
It's fine.
节日
节日过得很快乐。
运河
运河开行了。
科学
科学很无聊。
春节
春节是中国人最重要的节日。
印机
打印机
喷墨打印机。
What? Daddy? Wait, what are you doing? Are you talking about my tone things? Are you talking about my opinions? I was copying what you were typing. I said, yeah, da. You saw that? Yeah, it's because of the pinyin numbers. Yeah, so the numbers are the pinyin numbers, so like you can say show whoops. Back this is wrong. So you can say show so this is show 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 show. So this is 收音机收音机收音机收音机收音机 So that's where the numbers are. So DA3 is da as opposed to da da da. That's 3 and da, which is 4. So that's the pinyin stuff. 收音机 is right.
收音机
他把收音机放在客厅。
radio. 中秋节。
中秋节
中秋节是一家团圆的日子。
It kind of looks like daddy though. Even though they're not D's, they're E's, but it kind of looks like daddy when you're like D33. I don't know. Oh, it's because it's a backwards E. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's why. Those hipster stuff. I'm too hip for that type of English. Too hip.
飞往
直接飞往东京。
前年
我前年这时候在中国。
方便，
你哪一天方便？
英文，
他懂得英文不多。
Yikes.
末日，
唐朝的末日。
低，前往，
乘机前往香港。
What do they want for this? Coat of arms.
明白，
我明白了。
Yeah, fair. we are starting. Our blocking is paying off now. Oh no. It's another recognized true. Jeez. 认知 is a 认知 or 认知认真
认真，
他是个认真的医生。
serious earnest yeah
等，加热，
需要加热吗？
our other 课
课，
more 课
租，主要，
主要任务。
认清，
认清是非。
草，听觉，
听觉敏锐。
no 书记 right
书记，
我是他的书记。
it's a 1-4 mix up. No, I was going so well without doing the 1-4 mix up.
得到，
他得到了一本新书。
出现，
我们家出现了新问题。
有，叫好，
他们没有叫好。
I keep getting these two mixed up. It's so annoying. Applaud and to send regards. Oh my gosh. I'm blocking this out. Their meaning overlaps so much. Oh my goodness. Holy heck, help me out here.
母
I need help.
分 明年
我明年要上大学。
温
You gotta be kidding me. No. No. That's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable. It was going so well. Now it's just poop. This one I won? Yeah.
住 自由
思想自由。
以后
以后不会再发生了。
compared after. Is this sense from? After, it's from here on out is what was out the front, and it's still sense. Sense now, like from now, then on, but it has a different meaning. But I was gonna type from here on out, but I knew it wasn't from here on out, and then I tried to think of after, but it's gonna get blocked out eventually because of not having enough phrases that describe the same thing.
喜
This was begin. They want to begin. Man, I didn't want to go over that stuff. I think I should control Z that stuff for sure in the future. We'll start doing that after day 100. Those ones are like after, like you cross all the answers, but in the sentence it's like all of them are fine. Shay. Why am I having a problem with this? Is it Shay? Yeah. I don't remember this mnemonic at all. Maybe because it's wrong! Oh, it's 2. I actually still don't understand why it's 2 though. Oh! Sherlock is trying to find the source of the sound, right? The words, and it turns out to be a turkey. Yeah. That's fine. Wow, Shay has not been used in a long time outside of that one. I just realized that there's no prototypic use of that other than who. Dang. Made me second guess. Well played, I suppose.
长远
人要有长远的计划。
It's still distance. It's like really far. Long ago? Oh my gosh, dude, just wait. I swear I added this. I could have sworn I added long ago. I'm just gonna write long lasting. Well, because of... I swear I added that synonym before. We've already blocked that out.
生日
你的生日是什么？
I'm kind of triggered right now. After that one. That one triggered me.
不错
这个电影不错。
This one kind of triggers me too. Now I'm not even sure that I already added this before. I hate long term and long lasting. Those two, they're just long, a long period of time. I should write long period of time for both of them. And consolidate into a long period of time. This one was unfortunate. I didn't remember the tone. I couldn't check the tone anymore. It was what? Sherlock? Sherlock was in the beach house looking for the turkey with the words, right?
谁知道
他什么时候会到达？谁知道呢？
Oh, who knows? Dang it. Who says is fine too. 谁说 and 谁知道 has the same similar meaning, but I was more focused on trying to get here. That's it. Actually, let's do it for the first time, right? Ah. So that's how you do it. All right. Yeah, I don't want to see that again. Let's see. Yeah, who was the words that are flying out in each word gobble? The source of the gobble. Annoying. Oh, and then you just do it again. Oh, okay. Some really, really annoying ones. And some ones that I'm surprised I did not add and block out already. This one, that's annoying. Is to line to queue. To queue is what I would use, not to line up. But I type line, and obviously you need more than 2 words. Even though I mean line as in line up. And this was synonym. Synonym. These 3, 4, and then I typed the wrong tone here. That can happen. Type the wrong tone here. These 2. And then this one, I couldn't remember the first thing. Couldn't remember to check tone that. So that's pretty good. And these 2, what is it? Applaud? 叫好, and what is send regards? Do not, I think, whoops, wrong. I do not like those. To send regards. Is this in alphabetical order? No. To send regards. 问好. So to ask. I'm blocking this out on these 2. Or when you're sending your regards, it could end up being something positive. And to applaud, it's not necessarily to literally like clap. To send your regards, to applaud. So those two, the reason why is like 问好 and 叫好, 问 and 叫 are very close. Like to call on someone well and to ask someone well. They're right on top of each other. But I think it's a loss in it's more of a loss in translation in English, and I don't want to be juggling that over and over again. Considering it's always a 50-50. You're just like, oh hey, this is either applaud or send regards. I don't know, like it's applaud or send regards. One day you're gonna guess right. It's like a coin flip, right? So we're blocking out all the coin flips. Coin flips will come later with context, with more context. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do moving forward. I'm gonna aggressively block out 50-50s. Yay, let's go here. Whoops. Waitress. Fish. When waitress, dress, soldier. Someone said something to the waitress and the soldier like clocked him in the face. Oh. George Costanza? Drawn. Yeah, it's probably drawn. On. On. Jing. No. Jing? No, it's Jing. Yeah. Ooh. Ian. Ying. Ian. No, Ian. Not Ian. 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 教育 education 教育故事三角他们no 体育是 no 或或是体育馆 牛角一指一指都Oh no, each should wait, yeah. Yeah, each should do. Cheetah. Shi. Alright. We have Walter White in front of the infirmary. In front of the infirmary, discovering a person on a plate, on a dish. On a dish, trying to measure their temperature and being shocked, spraying everywhere from their mouth at it being over 9,000, right? Okay. And then George Costanza outside of the chapel. I think a waitress and her dress was okay, but then a soldier who knows the waitress thinks her dress, her attire and her dress looks, I don't know, okay. And then the soldier comes on and bops him in the face for making a comment on her dress and ruining his attire. Bart in front of the pawn shop with a makeshift boat. Where he shoots different sort of people with missiles. All sorts of people, I suppose. Kermit outside the chapel. Sharing healing aids. Where he built a shack. And use a pen to delicately lift a snowflake onto a priest and miraculously provide some healing, right? Jimmy Neutron. Bathroom. English Manor. He was coming back from playing with the rich kids and he had his cleats on. And the bathroom was pretty cool. It had a beanstalk. And he wanted to draw a moon with a pen. And in that, all you can hear, it was very quiet. And you can hear the clicking of his cleats on the marble and the scribbling of the pen. Then we have Yugi in the house, hungry for some fish, so he summoned a fish ready to serve a salmon for food. Okay. And then let's cover these. So we're covering red first. No reason. No reason for this. Let's say 1/4 typo swap up. Please. No reason for this too. It was a tone mix-up. And this was a synonym. Synonym, temperature. We're okay with those. Jiao hao. What was this? Applaud. We're blocking this guy out. I missed the Shay. Shay. 谁知道 Who knows? It's fine. Not concerned about that. And then we have long lasting. What was this? Cloak? So it was like dirt, mouth, dress, road. Long term, right? We're blocking this guy out too.以后 we're blocking that one out too. After or afterwards. How did this work? I 对 That's us. Just an inclusion. Meaning inclusion, so that's fine. Line up. For speed purposes. Alright. No, nothing. It's an above average day. Nothing too... yeah, none of them are really concerning. So far, I think I have 4 prominent 50-50s. So, 叫好 and 问好 长远 长远 and something 有 长久 probably 长久. Those are 50-50s. And then we have a bit of the preposition stuff, like after they're in. So things that deal with position, but they are using position or time. So I think there are 2 of them. One of them is definitely 以后. 以后 is like from this point on. So anything that comes after or since then, anything from here on out, that's what's happening. What is this? Then there's 以前, right? 以前. So previously or everything before. There was also long ago. There's somewhere like long ago as well. And then what else? What else? There's a couple. They'll probably come up in the next rotation or two. I mean, I'm expecting them to come up soon. So eventually they're just gonna get clustered somehow and then we'll sort them out. Like the way to block them out, when I block them out, then I would pay attention to them a lot more. So 叫好 and 问好 might resolve themselves. I'm not sure about 成言 and 长久. There's also the 3 buts, maybe the 4 buts. I think there might be 4 buts. All right. Well, we'll work on them as we go. Yeah. All right, that's a wrap for HanziHero today in our traditional Chinese session. Pretty all right. Above average day. Nothing too concerning. Yeah, so if you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢. Always feel free to follow along, come with your hot takes, ready to discuss them, right? And for those who are only interested in Chinese, 下次见, right? See you next time, and I'm gonna get up, take a quick bathroom break, and I'll be back for Spanish. Thank you.